I want to go now to some Fox News coverage of the Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The rally was implosive and abortive before it even started. Starting at 6 a.m., Fox and Friends was in Butler, Pennsylvania. There are MAGA signs that say impeached, arrested, convicted, and still standing. Pete Hegseth was there talking about how people have been waiting for nearly 24 hours to get into this atrocity.
Well, good morning and welcome to Fox and Friends. It is Saturday, October 5th, year of our Lord 2024. And I'm happen to not be in studio with my friends Will and Rachel this morning because, as you know, less than 3 months ago, right here in Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13th, President Trump was nearly assassinated and yet stood up afterwards immediately and yelled, "Fight, fight, fight," rallying the faithful there and a country in that moment. He returns today to Butler, Pennsylvania for a rally in the exact same spot, guys. It looks almost identical from what we could see when we were coming around the vantage point. And I'm live here this morning at the front of the line, which began forming at 11 a.m. yesterday. So in just a few moments, we're going to talk to some of the folks that have braved the chilly weather. It's only 50, but it feels like 20.
Think for a moment. Close your eyes and think for a moment of what has to be happening in your life that you hear that Trump's doing a rally on Saturday afternoon, and on Friday morning, you say, I'm going to get in line and be here overnight. Just think about what's happening in your life. And, you know, if you're guessing, oh, I wonder what these folks are like, here is Pete Hegseth interviewing one of the overnight campers. Oh, boy. I don't even really know how to introduce this.
Ma'am, you got here nice and early. When did you get here?
Last night we stayed. We drove from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We've been to multiple Pennsylvania rallies, but this is the most MAGA, so we had to be here today.
And why? I mean, you're wearing the shirt, the iconic image. He yelled, "Fight, fight, fight" to his supporters. What's it like to be back here? Be here?
Well, this is going to be the most epic. There's going to be a whole line of people here. Elon, everybody's coming to support President Trump. A miracle happened here, and everybody has to come and see it.
There you go.
A miracle happened here. God redirected a bullet so that it would not hit Trump and instead killed an innocent firefighter standing behind Trump. It was a miracle when God did that. And so we are here just to honor that, I guess. Pete Hegseth also interviewing MAGA Barbara. And, well, again, really tough to introduce these, so I will let her speak for herself.
Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi, how are you?
You came from about 2 hours away.
About 2 hours away, got up at about 3 o'clock in the morning. My very first Trump rally. I'm super excited. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm trying to get out. I got out of my car because they were stopped. I got out of my truck, my husband's truck, and I ran up here so I can get in line because I don't want to miss anything. So my poor husband said, "Are you leaving me?" I said, "I am. For Trump, I am."
And real quick, why did it mean so much for you to be here today at this rally?
Because I'm such a big supporter. We have so many great supporters here in the Pittsburgh area. People think that, it's all Democrat here. No, it's not. In my county where I live, in Washington County, it used to be all Democrat. Now it's more. It's like 60% Republican now. And I live right next door to the town of Charleroi, which has been in the news lately with all the influx of immigrants. And I have immigrants living right next door to me, so I know what it's like.
Yeah. Apparently, it's very tough for Barbara. It's very tough for Barbara to have immigrants living next door. Really, you really feel for her, don't you? So we saw what Trump did at the rally with Elon. We saw the sorts of folks that are showing up in the middle of the night or driving through the night or camping out to go to one of these rallies. And for anyone who thinks that all of this points to a definite Trump loss, it doesn't. And that's what I want to talk about next. I have a close family friend who uses hearing aids. And once I told her about hearing aids from our sponsor, MD Hearing, she gave them a try. And she's been with them ever since. She told me she loves the affordability, the quality, the expert staff available to help her calibrate the device anytime she needs. If you're still paying thousands for hearing aids, check out MD Hearing. MD Hearing is an FDA-registered rechargeable hearing aid, costs a fraction of what typical hearing aids cost. MD Hearing's Neo model costs less than 10% what you'll pay for a marked up hearing aid at a brick and mortar clinic. And MD Hearing just launched the Neo XS, their smallest hearing aid ever. MD Hearing has sold over 1.5 million hearing aids and offer a 45-day risk-free trial with a 100% money-back guarantee. You can buy with confidence. Get the hearing you deserve. Go to shopmdhearing.com and use code PACMAN to get a pair of hearing aids for just $297. Plus, you'll get a charging case for free, an additional $100 value. The link is in the description.